Modern algorithmic trading exists in the narrow gaps between localized servers, competitive advantages measured in microseconds and nanoseconds. Financial temporal networks currently rely on network time protocol and precision time protocol, both of which depend on fragmented, hardware-bound master clocks. This reliance creates a physical ceiling. Hardware drift and the relativity of time across geographically distributed nodes mean that perfect synchronization remains out of reach for legacy systems. As the latency war approaches its physical minimum, the ultimate market advantage shifts away from faster hardware and toward a universal, absolute mathematical baseline. The universe operates at a terminal tick rate. Below this threshold, time and causality lose all physical meaning. This hard vertical boundary is Planck time, a physical constant measured at 5.391247 times 10 to the negative 44th seconds. No computational unit or trading architecture can physically operate faster than this specific boundary. The pedigree of this constant stems from Dr. Max Planck's century-old work on quantized energy and quantum oscillators. Fintech has historically bypassed this quantum limit because the industry lacked a computational specification to bridge this subatomic constant to macro-world server architectures. Any architecture capable of anchoring a computational standard directly to the Planck limit would own the metrological foundation of global finance. On December 31, 2025, the release of FTU Spec version 1.7.1 provided that bridge, defining a standard known as the flagship absolute. The governing equation for this system is the Gulf law, R equals T sub F times QC times the sum of all effective frequencies. Here, T sub F represents the fatty tempo unit, or FTU. This variable is immutably anchored to the value of Planck time, which removes hardware-based relativity from the measurement. QC functions as the quantum context operator, a dimensionless variable used to meet specific domain requirements. The final term represents the sum of every effective frequency within the target system. This formula treats frequency as the irreducible substrate of reality. Under this model, matter and energy, as described by Einstein and Planck, are themselves expressions of frequency. This technical chart outlines the formal axiom of frequency. Its ultimate null test dictates that without frequency, existence itself collapses. In a digital context, this means that all computational environments and algorithms are governed by these same frequency-based principles. Because engineers cannot build a tick shorter than Planck time and cannot communicate data without frequency, high-frequency trading infrastructures must eventually converge on this exact mathematical model to achieve absolute normalization. The Gulf law translates theoretical physics into a deployable software framework. The FTU specification repository contains a machine-verifiable specification, creating an immutable structure for timing data. This includes a reference Python verifier script, ftu.verify.v1.7.1.py, allowing third-party auditors to test the protocol's logic. Normative conformance vectors are provided to prove the stability and accuracy of the protocol across systems. The specification has survived the ISO Truth Jesus Mode audit, a destructive validation process that tests the logic against all known mathematical counterexamples. This bundle delivers a fully realized, audit-friendly baseline for normalization, ready for deployment in ultra-low latency server environments. Published mathematical formulas face a specific risk in fintech. Firms often attempt to replicate the logic internally to avoid external dependencies. The FTU protocol uses a sealed, verifiable release architecture to prevent this, anchored by an FTU manifest and a seal card. As shown in this terminal view, the release manifest anchors the specification, the vectors, and the verifier behind unbreakable SHA-256 hashes. This cryptographic seal is backed by immutable academic timestamps via Zenodo and OSF DOIs, establishing a permanent public record. The final layer is the USPTO patent-pending timestamp, filed on July 2, 2025, at exactly 020927 UTC. These three layers, hashes, academic DOIs, and the patent filing, form a single genesis block of prior art for the Gulf law. Any proprietary firm attempting to build a Planck-anchored architecture will now collide with this explicitly claimed frequency-based methodology. As this chart demonstrates, all technology built on frequency emergence falls downstream of the core axiom claimed in the filing. Attempting to circumvent the patent forces engineers to abandon the Planck anchor, which results in a metrologically inferior timing system. The birth of the FTU as a prior art standard forces the market into a binary choice: license the universal standard or continue using obsolete, fragmented time. Legacy trading environments, like the chaotic floor of the New York Stock Exchange, are limited by human-scale, localized latency. These physical data silos were replaced by global networks, and current localized timing infrastructures face the same obsolescence. The FTU is physically inevitable because you cannot outpace Planck time, and it is commercially inescapable because of its cryptographic and intellectual property seal. The metrological frontier of high-frequency finance is now permanently closed. By cornering the absolute bottom of the computational scale, FTU Spec version 1.7.1 establishes the permanent mathematical root for ultra-low latency market normalization.